All 10,000 saviors have gathered together. The trial begins. At this time, our male didn't understand how serious his situation was. Nothing made sense. This was clear though. Our guy was an ordinary human being in a place filled with powerful beings. All 99 of the other people here were cultivators. Very dangerous-looking individuals. They all were set out to face a gruesome reality. They've all got 365 days until the arrival of the otherworldly gods. It's going to wild. Some sort of holographic screen appears and informs our guy he's just signed it successfully. It's his first day sign-in, and he's just been rewarded the power of the 1,000-year-old monster. On the second day he'll be rewarded experience of the legendary warrior god. So it's some crazy game or something. If he makes it even further, by the 30th day he'd have the ability to destroy a planet with a single punch. That's too much power for one mortal. Or don't you think so? Let's take a step back and actually understand how things came about. We see a massive hospital building. In it is our male lead in his sister's ward. He says to the men who came for him that he's resigned already and he's got nothing to do with them. Our guy orders them to get out. They've got their weapons all up in his face. Our male lead is Chu Mo. The men say they are here to teach him a lesson. Their boss calms them down. Mr. Shu say they are a legit company and tells his guys not to go around pointing guns at people. He'd rather talk things out. Mr. Shu asks if it's Chu Mo's sisters that's laying unconscious behind him. He says he'd heard she raised him all by herself after the two siblings lost their parents. Sadly, she fell seriously ill before she could enjoy her life. The company helped Chu Mo pay off her medical bills upfront to keep her alive, and our guy shows no respect to the boss. Our guy says he'll pay up all his owing to the company, but they tried to frame him for a failed project, so he had to resign. He's got this nonchalant look on his face. Mr. Shu gives a menacing look and reminds Chu Mo he'd been the one who begged to be made the team leader of that same project. He completely understands that our guy fought for that opportunity because of his sister. He takes a few steps closer to our male lead. Mr. Shu says he's always believed strongly in karma. Chu Mo took the job for his sister and then quit irresponsibly all of a sudden. He asks our guy if he's not worried for his sister's well-being. What if something terrible were to happen to her? Chu Mo is visibly enraged. He asks if he's being threatened. What plans do the organization have for his sister? The men hold him off. Mr. Shu asks our guy to reconsider his decision. He wouldn't want anything unfortunate to happen to our guy's sister, but the amusement park project is funded by the government, and so somebody has to take responsibility for the embezzlement. He says if Chu Mo helps the company out, then they could advance him his sister's medical expenses for the next 10 years. Sweet offer her. Mr. Shu advises Chu Mo to think about it carefully, and then come see him at the office tomorrow. The men leave. The next day, our male lead walks into the organization. A pretty lady meets him at the reception. He says hi to Xia Xiaoming. Without wasting any time, she leads him away to a different location. The young lady says she's got something important to discuss. They are on the roof. Weird, right? He says they are not all that close, so he finds it strange they are meeting there. Xia Xiaoming says she doesn't care. She really wants to tell him how she feels regardless of the terrible timing. The young lady folds up and looks very seductive at the moment. She says she's got a crush on Chu Mo, and she wanted to know how he felt about her. He looks clueless. He apologizes, says he's not in the right headspace to think of things like that. Xia Xiaoming looks sad, but she says it's fine. She asks him to shut his eyes real quick. She's got a farewell present for him. Our guy does as she asks. The young lady leans closer and whispers in his ear. She says she'd been told she'd be made the scapegoat for the embezzlement if he left the company alive, so she's got a little request for him. She has this crazy look in her eyes, and she pushes him off the edge. Chu Mo is stunned. In a flash, his reflexes kick in and he grabs her by the hand. She pleads with him to let go and die quietly, but he's got a strong will to live. The two go down from the top floor. They are falling to their certain death. Xie Xiaoming couldn't believe she was actually falling to her death. Below, something appears. It's like some portal or door on the ground that's pulling Chu Mo in. She feels she's still got a chance to make it. If she can just make it through the door, then maybe she'd survive. These thoughts clouded her mind. Sadly, these were her last thoughts, cause the portal closed before she hit the ground. The people around hear a loud bang right in front of the organization. Someone screams out loud. It's a woman's body. They hurry and call the police. They believe it's a suicide. Xie Xiaoming was gone. Chu Mo appears somewhere. He's pretty sure he fell directly from the top floor to the ground, so he really shouldn't be living and breathing right now. He takes a look around. It's weird cause he's in a familiar street, with the office buildings around, but there's not a single person on the road. He wonders what's going on. A loud voice rioshes all around him. The voice announces all 10,000 saviors are gathered together, now the trial begins. He wonders where the sound came from. Strange. Savior. Trial. What's that all about? While he's still putting together his thoughts, someone screams at him to get out of the way. It's a lady. She's so quick. She flies past him with a sword in hand. In a flash she unleashes an impressive attack with her glowing sword and takes down a huge beast with one swing of her blade. Chu Mo looks on in amazement. He couldn't believe his eyes. Is this really something a human can do? That's all he could think of at that moment. The lady turns in his direction. She says she's surprised to see a mere mortal in the secret realm, where cultivators the ill take part in the savior trial. What's she going on about? She asks how he made it to the spiritual realm. He's just a man without spiritual power. A monster appeared behind him just now, and he could have lost his life if she didn't intervene. Chu Mo appreciates her for saving his life. He says he's got no idea how or why he's here. He doesn't even know where here is. Our guy asks if she knows a way out. He's not interested in hanging around to figure out what this place holds for him. She bursts his bubble as she informs him there's no escape. No one leaves or enters the secret realm freely once the savior trial begins. He can't leave until the task is completed, but there's an even worse news. There are monsters everywhere here, so it's so dangerous here. She asks him to follow her for a while. Someone walks up to them. He calls the lady Yutong. He says the secret realm isn't a place for charity. It is an extremely dangerous place even for cultivators such as themselves. The young man says if she insists in bringing our guy along, then she'd have to leave his team. He's really not into the whole idea of taking in strays. Yutong asks if he really wants to leave the spiritually powerless man on his own. She calls him Senior Chen. Chu Mo walks up to her. He says it's fine. He wouldn't want her to leave her team just for his sake. Our guy assures her he'll do his very best to stay alive and make it out alive in the end. He's got a reason to go back. His sister is still waiting for him. Senior Chen says our guy's talking real big for someone who's powerless and inexperienced. He says he'd like to see Chu Mo fall into total despair. That's something the secret realm could do to a man. In no time, they left. Our guy wonders why they didn't help him. He was being really sincere in his speech, and he'd somehow hoped the cultivator, Yutong, would stay back. All is not lost, she left him a spare sword. He has no idea how to use it. He's going to try it out anyway. No harm in trying after all. Without a doubt, at a critical time he'll have to rely on himself. Only the weak place their hopes on other people's help. A holographic screen appears right in front of him. It reads, "Sign-in system activated. Sign in into the secret realm to receive generous rewards. Click to claim today's reward." Chu Mo wonders where the weird screen appeared, and how he's hearing a weird voice giving him directions. He clicks the screen. First day sign-in reward activates. He's been rewarded the power of a 1,000-year monster. Power is pouring out and he feels it envelope him. Our guy feels recharged even though he didn't get to sleep last night. It's an amazing feeling. I'm anticipating so much action to come. The strange occurrences weren't limited to the secret realm alone. In the real world, an announcement spanning across all contingents and all the people plays aloud. An invasion from the other world has been detected. The secret realm will now be activated. A total of 10,000 cultivators has obtained the status of saviors and entered the secret realm to fight against the invading otherworldly monsters. The secret realm will live stream the battle to the world as it's tied to the fate of the entire human race. If the saviors fail the trial, the otherworldly gods will descend after 365 days, and the human civilization will be destroyed. Everyone got it. No one missed it. There was vast confusion amongst the masses. Something strange is happening. Everyone's phone is downloading an app called Secret Realm Live Stream by itself. The people can't accept it. It can't possibly be true. All that voice said about cultivators and saviors and otherworldly gods. A young man says he'd like to be a cultivator too. His friend says he's an idiot. They'll all probably be gone in a year, so what kind of cultivation will he practice then? The chosen saviors will battle with monsters. They'll be the ones to die first, so the young man wonders what's there to be afraid of. The Secret Realm live stream has successfully installed. He proceeds to check it out. It has a peculiar interface. Welcome to the Secret Live Stream channel. The Secret Realm is introduced and explained. It is the middle zone between the real world and the other world. In ancient times, the cultivators created the Secret Realm as the Earth's defensive front in order to resist the invasion of the other world. As it stands, if the saviors win in the Secret Realm, then Earth will be replenished with spiritual power and enter an era of universal cultivation. It's pretty unbelievable, but what they are saying is everyone will have the chance to obtain a longer lifespan, as well as greater power the levels of an average human. A creature appears on his screen. It introduces itself as Lazuli, a popular virtual live streamer. She'll be their host. She requests their unrelenting support and makes another announcement. There are other hosts with her too. One is from one of the four-man cultivation sects. He's from the Polaris Fire sect. The sixth elder, Ji Sheng. The other is world-renowned teen idol, Missy Shuang. Lazuli asks if the two have contributions or informations to pass to the viewers before the show officially begins. Ji Sheng says all the cultivation sects are more than prepared for the invasion of the other world. The monsters are ferocious. But he's certain the cultivators will not shy away from battle. Missy Shuang agrees with his words. She says he's so reassuring. She makes an announcement. The Secret Realm live stream app has a special function, which is the viewer reward system. The viewer's account will generate a varying amount of destiny coins every day. The coins can be used to reward their favorite savior in the Secret Realm. The coins are pretty powerful. They can help the saviors in the Secret Realm to increase their strength. Lazuli says she'll be promoting the saviors, who are worth watching in the live streaming right from the very first day, today. She appreciates her fellow hosts for their informative words, and says the main live streaming channel will randomly broadcast the heroic battles of the saviors. Viewers can also choose to watch exclusive channels of their preferred saviors, and even communicate through comments. Without wasting any more time, they tune into the first Lucky Savior's live stream channel. It's a gruesome scene. He's practically being devoured by a monster. That's Senior Chen. He's pleading for his life. The viewers were stunned. At first, they'd been anticipating the live stream, but the sight in view was horrid. It's barely started and 3 saviors have been devoured straight away. The host wonder if the said saviors weren't cultivators to begin with. It's almost like they were delivering takeout to the monsters. Lazuli suggests they move on to the next live channel. Next channel, and it's the same situation. The monster takes him out in flash. He begs and begs for his life, but it's all a waste. Next. Next. Next one. Miss Yi Shuang apologizes to the viewers. They'd promised intense and challenging duels between saviors and the monsters. She says they'll avoid showing these gruesome executions. A viewer comments about his dissatisfaction. The live stream channels all look like a horror escape live stream, and it's not giving the viewers what they want. Ji Sheng says there's a problem. The first secret realm trial really shouldn't be this difficult for the saviors. An emergency alert comes in. Emergency alert. The otherworldly gods have increased the power of the invasion. The difficulty of the secret realm has thus leveled up. This is the first time it's been increased by this much. The secret realm has reached the max F level. With this development, there will be monsters with 500-year cultivation. In short, they are saying things are going to be bloody. The savior will struggle to keep up. Lazuli makes another announcement. 500-year-old monsters have been included. Ji Sheng grits his teeth in disbelief. It's going to be a bloodbath. Miss Yi Shuang asks if the monsters are really so powerful. He informs her the monsters get stronger the longer they live. It's due to the depletion of spiritual energy on Earth. Currently, the strongest cultivators are only as powerful as a 1,000-year-old monster. And the young cultivators that have been selected are relatively weak. Even when facing only 300-year-old monsters, Ji Sheng says they'll struggle. Lazuli reiterates his words. She says the saviors are fighting against extremely dangerous monsters for the future of the Earth. She pleads with the viewers to support the saviors with destiny coins. The saviors shouldn't be mocked. The viewers should watch the live stream channels with respect and gratitude. Amidst all the commotion and brutality, Chu Mo sits in what seems like a departmental store, and has stuffing his face. It's like the hosts are playing jokes on the viewers. Didn't they say there'll be tough fights? The originally sad and horrific atmosphere somewhat lightens up with the appearance of our guy being himself. Ji Sheng can't make sense of what he's viewing. There are chips, Coke and instant noodles. It's like this savior came for a picnic. The comments roll in. Other saviors on the show are live streaming their battles. ANF struggles for survival, while Chu Mo's broadcasting an eating show. The hosts are left in an awkward position. They've got no comment to explain the sight in view. Finally Miss Yi Shuang breaks the silence. She says it seems this cultivator eating noodles should be very strong. Seeing as he's so calm. Ji Sheng doesn't agree with her. He says the young man's isn't even a genuine cultivator. He doesn't have any spiritual power, he's nothing but an ordinary man. He wonders why the secret realm chose him to be a savior. The comments go wild at the talk of Chu Mo being an ordinary man. His live stream piqued the interests of vast viewers in no time. Other cultivators are embarrassing themselves in the secret realm, and an ordinary man is outperforming them. Someone else says he's just lucky. If a monster appears, he'll be toast. The hosts ask each other if anyone's willing to bet on his survival based on the incoming comments. The number of viewers spiked immensely in such a short time. They wonder if anyone's going to reward Chu Mo soon. A harsh comment stands above all else. Only a fool will give a reward to him. It's better to give the destiny coin to a real cultivator than waste it on an ordinary man. The viewer just wants to see how our guy will die. Something shows up at the scene. It enters with a buzzing noise. It's a dark force, probably a monster. A monster has shown up for Chu Mo. He's backed up in a corner. The comments are all the same. He's going to die. Mori. Miss Yishuang is blown away at the fact a mere human was summoned as a savior in the secret realm. She asks what Elder Ji thinks of his chances for survival, and if there's any way to release him from the secret realm. Ji Sheng shuts his eyes in despair. He says the secret realm was created by cultivators a long time ago, and they've got no control of it. That aside, he believes our guy won't stand a chance against the 100-year-old monster that has surfaced. The monster is huge and it's found its way to Chu Mo's present location. Our guy takes a short while to analyze the situation. The monster has 6 eyes and it's much bigger than the one he saw before, so he wonders if it's some type of enhanced version of the one he crossed paths with. He's got to figure something out. Even though he has obtained the strength of a 1,000-year-old monster, he's still very much inexperienced to the ways of the secret realm. He believes his newly found strength and power is no match for his 6-eyed opponent. The monster wastes no time and launches its first attack with its huge arms, attempting to crush our guy with one move. Chu Mo moves swiftly and dodges the strike. To him, the attack seemed so slow and he easily dodged it. He wonders if the huge monster is weak. Looks can be deceiving, or don't they? The monster couldn't believe it didn't get his prey. It stares at its empty palm with disbelief. Our guy tries to work out a strategy in his head to defeat his massive opponent. So many thoughts run through his mind. The monster may be slow, but its defense is strong. He's been able to figure that out in short time. His 6-eyed opponent may be trying to trick him into attacking first. The reverse damage caused by his attack could be fatal for Chu Mo. Not going to lie, for someone who's not experienced in battle, his analysis isn't bad at all. Our guy decides to test his theory. He brings out his sword. And he's prepared to attack it with this long sword he got from the cultivator, Yu Tong. He dashes towards the monster and strikes it with all his might. The blade connects. Even to its surprise, the 6-eyed opponent was perfectly intact. Chu Mo's sword broke in half as a result of the impact. The monster is exactly as he suspected. It tricked him into attacking and then rebounded our guy's power to hurt him. Luckily, our guy attacked with a sword, if not it'd have been fatal. Chu Mo was unharmed. The comments started rolling in. A viewer says Elder Ji's expectations have been cut short multiple times already. Another says Chu Mo is fantastic. The monster couldn't even touch the tip of his clothes. His dodging skills are impeccable. Another viewer says our guy is just a lucky dude. After all, he broke his sword in his first attack, and all he's doing is dodging the monster's attacks. The people battle out their opinions in the comment section. Lazuli says she's surprised Chu Mo could actually dodge the monster's attacks. Miss Yishuang also says she's impressed and she wonders if he could actually defeat it. She turns to Elder Ji and asks his opinion on the matter. Ji Sheng admits he misjudged our guy. He says he can tell from Chu Mo's fighting that he's probably a martial artist with pretty decent skill too. There's a but. But only an attack infused with spiritual power can harm the monsters. What he's saying is, only true cultivators with actual powers could possibly defeat the monsters. Ji Sheng has really low expectations for Chu Mo. The battle continues. As it stands, no matter how many attacks our guy dodges, he'll be dead if he is hit once. His life's practically hanging on a thread. Something bad is happening. Chu Mo didn't notice it until it was pretty late. He'd been dodging the monster's attack, but he's been forced into a corner by the beast. Now there's no way he can dodge its attacks. He thinks hard on his next choice of action. He decides he'll take a chance and attempt to fake an attack, and push the monster gently instead, so he can get away if his 6-eyed opponent hesitates for just a short moment. That's the plan. But will it work? Chu Mo stretches out his hands and gently touches the monster. His hands send out a beam of energy, and his confused cause he thought he just pushed the beast gently. To his greatest surprise, that supposed gentle push blew his six-eyed opponent to bits. Our guy stands victorious. He says the monster is too weak. The comments go wild. Didn't Elder G just say only true cultivators could defeat the monsters? Another viewer calls our guy Almighty Mo. He says our male lead is so impressive. Apparently the viewer says she wants to give birth to Chu Mo's children. Peak delusion. One viewer says something that stands out. Fake saviors get hunted by the monsters while real saviors destroy the monsters with a simple nudge. So much aura. Destiny coins start trooping in. Almighty Mo gets coins from all over the globe. His holographic screen appears, and he's informed he's just received over 5,000 Destiny coins in the span of few minutes from the viewers. Chu Mo's combat power has increased by 50. Our guy stretches out his arm and puts together the information he's just received from the voice of the secret realm. Rewards her. He wonders if it's a new feature here in the secret realm. Chu Mo doesn't feel any different. A notification pops up. The combat power of the host has increased. Current combat power 10,000 times 50. Oh my things just keep getting interesting. Back at the organization in the real world, one of Mr. Shu's guys runs along to inform him about Chu Mo's appearance on the live stream. His boss isn't moved. He says it's not a big deal, so why is his guy so panicky? The guy says it's not a normal live stream. Chu Mo showed up on the Secret Realm live stream, and he's been selected as a savior. Not too long ago, he defeated a monster. His panicky cause his scared-out male lead might return and get back at them from the threats on his life and his sister who's ill. Mr. Shu isn't at all bothered. He says he knew all about it already before the report came. He says the blame has been shifted on the employee who jumped off the building this morning, Xia Xiameng. All the blame for the embezzlement has been topped on her. Also he intends to write off all the medical expenses for Chu Mo's sick sister. It's more or less supposed to be a condition for a reconciliation with our guy. Not a bad plan from Mr. Shu sincerely. The guy asks if his boss has considered the situation whereby Chu Mo doesn't want to be on friendly terms with the organization regardless of their reconciliation plan. The boss says he's not scared of our guy. He has no intention of burying the hatchet out of fear for Chu Mo, and he laughs. To him, our guy is just a martial artist who defeated the monster by luck. Even if our male lead is a cultivator now, Mr. Shu is an elite, and his cultivators aren't beyond his reach. He could have several cultivators attack Chu Mo if he wanted it. The thought put a crooked smile on his face. If our guy doesn't want to reconcile, then Mr. Shu will send him to the netherworld. He's so confident in his elite status. In the next scene, Lazuli gives an update on the situation regarding the secret realm. It's officially been an hour since the secret realm activated. The tables are turning and the cultivators keep defeating powerful monsters. She encourages the viewers to continue rewarding the brave saviors. She appreciates Elder G for his professional commentary thus far. He's made a lot of things clear for the regular folks. Miss Yi Shuang chips in a few words too. She says Elder G's comments on Chu Mo have been the most entertaining in her view, and she laughs cheerfully. Ji Sheng doesn't find it funny. He's not in the mood to joke now. He speaks on the current situation with the monsters in the secret realm. To the best of his knowledge, the situation is far less optimistic for the selected saviors. The difficulty of the secret realm will gradually increase over time. Based on the ranking criteria of the secret realm, a 100-year-old monster will have a combat power of 100. A 200-year-old monster will have a combat power of 300. A 300-year-old monster will have combat power of 500, and it increases variably as the monsters are aged higher. This fact troubles Elder G deeply. As it stands, when the 500-year-old monsters appear, the cultivators will face the most difficult test of their lives. Lazuli says she's not in agreement with his assessment. The saviors are risking their lives to fight, so she feels they should have faith in them. She makes reference to Chu Mo, who easily defeated a 100-year-old monster, to the surprise of everyone. Now that she mentioned our guy, they tune into his secret realm live stream. Maybe he's doing something amazing again. To their surprise and disappointment, the young man is fast asleep on a bench in the secret realm like he's got nothing to worry about. The comment section is heated. The viewers are displeased at the sight of him sleeping peacefully for half an hour now. One viewer says they regret giving him a reward for earlier. The viewers express their disappointment and dissatisfaction in the comments. Another viewer makes mention of another cultivator, who's doing really great in the secret realm presently. Someone says they see no reason to support Chu Mo any longer. They'd rather watch Bai Meng Jun's live stream. Apparently, the said cultivator managed to defeat a 200-year-old monster, at a disadvantage, and it seems he's just challenged a stronger monster now. The hosts view the comments and they are all a bit shaken. Lazuli advises the viewers to take it easy on Chu Mo. She reminds them he's not a true cultivator in truth and advises they tune down the harsh comments on him. Ji Sheng says he's in agreement with his co-host. Chu Mo is but an ordinary man, his precious strike against the monster wasn't an easy deal. He tells the viewers our guy could only deliver that effective blow to his six-eyed opponent, after buying much time, by dodging the beast's attacks repeatedly, so they should all give him a little credit. Miss Yi Shuang says Chu Mo's attitude is honestly disappointing. He gave the viewers such high hopes, then straight afterwards went ahead to take a nap. The hosts decide to tune into Bai Meng Jun's live stream channel since he's being mentioned by the viewers so much. The viewers gift the talented cultivator. He looks so cool. He's facing off against a massive monster. It's so horrid and deadly looking. The beast lets out an amazing beam of energy from its mouth. Surely, Bai Meng Jun should be a thing of the past after that attack. The destructive power of the monster is so strong, the viewers couldn't see their favorite cultivator because of the smoke blurring their vision. Everyone's curious to know if Bai Meng Jun made it out alive. Ji Sheng is mind blown. The young cultivator is facing off against a 300-year-old monster. He couldn't believe Bai Meng Jun would challenge a monster of that caliber not long after he just defeated a 200-year-old monster. Lazuli asks why he's so surprised. After all, a couple of cultivators defeated some 300-year-old monsters not too long ago. Elder Ji makes it known that the cultivators, who defeated the monsters, are the chief disciples of the four major sects. These cultivators have abilities and talents much greater than their peers. With the information he's gathered on Bai Meng Jun, he can confirm the young talent is an independent cultivator, with normal skills who doesn't even belong to any sect. To the eyes of the normal person, it's a miracle that the young talent managed to defeat a 200-year-old monster, but now Bai Meng Jun is challenging a 300-year-old monster, and it's outrageous. Back on the battlefield, the smoke clears up and the young talent steps out of the smoke unfazed and unshaken. He's not at all impressed by the destructive power of the beast. He says he's disappointed cause he's yet to meet an opponent who'll actually give him a challenge. He stands right in front of the beast and readies himself to strike. The comment section mentions Chu Mo. But wait, he's not here, right? Or is he? He is. Our guy steps out of a collapsing building holding onto his neck. Elder Ji says he just came from Chu Mo's live stream, and he ends up seeing him again on this channel. What are the odds? Our guy has this nonchalant look in his eyes. He says the house he was taking a nap in pretty collapsed with him in it, and he asks if Bai Meng Jun needs any help with the monster in sight. The young talent turns in our guy's direction, and with pride in his voice, he tells Chu Mo to stay put. He's so certain he can handle it on his own. What's it going to be? Will Bai Meng Jun defeat the 300-year-old monster all on his own? Will he be devoured? What does Chu Mo have to do with it? Will our male lead help out eventually? Enjoying this story so far? Drop a comment showing your interest in a part 2 and also don't forget to like, share and subscribe.